Thursday night broadcast. I think the request was that Tommy would be with which group, Danny? Broadcast. Tommy will be from broadcast, so if you want to go through by the feet into the lounge, get cracking at the same time, that's fine. Okay, are we all set? Phones off and all the rest of it? Make sure mine's off before I do that. And you, Tansy, as well?
Yeah, mine's off.
Okay.
Matt, now you've had a couple of days to reflect on it. What are your opinions on the performance and result of the weekend?
Yeah, listen, performance wasn't anywhere near where it needed to be. We were really disappointed. On reflection. We didn't front up like we should have in a test match against France. We know how good they are, and particularly away from home, and we've kind of had a good look at the game, and we're all really disappointed with where we are, and we've got opportunity now to turn that around.
I suppose you're never expecting the Murrayfield end result, but just how surprised were you at the performance?
Yeah, very surprised and very disappointed, to be honest. We put a lot of time and effort into it, and that wasn't the performance that we expected from the group or ourselves, me included, or our supporters. So I think the great thing, we spoke a little bit about today, and we used two examples from World Rugby. We used the New Zealand example when they got beaten by 46 points by Australia, and the next week they turned it around and it was a 0 result. And you take the England-Wales game, that was very similar in regards to, I think England might have put 33 points on Wales, and they turned the next week it was 6 points. So that's what we've got to do. We've got the opportunity now to turn up in front of our crowd and make sure we right the wrongs of last week.
On the defensive side of things, is it a matter of players not following the instructions, or what's going wrong there?
I think it's a little bit about making sure that we have the aggression and the attitude first and foremost, particularly away from home, and I'll take that upon myself that I didn't kind of get the boys pumped up maybe like we should. I think these warm-up games we've kind of focused a lot on ourselves rather maybe than the opposition, and on reflection maybe we should have kind of poked and prodded and fired up the boys a little bit more than what we did. So that in reflection we should have done that a bit more. System-wise, we've still got to make sure that under stress and duress that the guys are sticking to systems, and we did that in parts, and other parts we didn't. I think the biggest thing that unfortunately was that we lost collisions. Now the French are a big side. If you don't get up, you don't knock them over, the next phase becomes harder and harder, and we didn't do that. The first phase they were making metres, they were getting over. The second phase we were doing that offloading. So you go from halfway to your own 22 within 2 or 3 phases, and that's not what we're all about, unfortunately, but that's what transpired.
Gregor and Scotland obviously eager to play an attacking style, but do you think there comes a point where a bit more pragmatism is needed in terms of game style?
Well, I'll focus on the area which I'm involved in and defensively, and that's the area where we've got to front up. All the best teams in the world, whether they win competitions, are the best teams defensively, and we didn't show that on the weekend. And I'm probably the most gutted out of anyone in the team or probably in the country, because that's my job to make sure that we do that, and we didn't do that. So I made it pretty clear today that we fell way below the standards, including myself, and I'll take that on the chin, and I need to make sure that the boys are up for this weekend.
Does it worry you to have got the problem and push the players to get that level of intensity that you need in a game like that against a team like France?
Sorry.
Does it worry you?
Does it worry me?
The problem to push the players.
Listen, I think you got to take every situation as it is. Sometimes, listen, there's been all different results for me. Sometimes, as a defence coach, I'll sit back and I feel, listen, we've covered what we've needed to cover, and they've gone and done a really good job. Other times, they haven't. So I think on reflection, maybe away from home, we've done a lot of work on our defence. We've done a lot of work on everything, and I think we just left up to the players to maybe get themselves in the right framework, and maybe, warm-up games, maybe a nice place like Nice, we just assumed that level of intensity was going to be there, and it wasn't. So.
The final game of the pool stage is going to be against Japan in Japan, and you still got this sort of problem away from home.
Yeah, well, listen, I think I think if you take the Australian game and the Argentinian game away from home, we did well there. I think some of the Six Nations opponents we haven't done so well. So Japan's not in that Six Nations group. So listen, we know that. We've got...
Speaking in the USA.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you. I think what we talked about today was ensuring that we front up against France on the weekend. We've got a great opportunity to put in a performance that our supporters are proud of. We also briefly spoke about Georgia and Japan and saying Georgia game over there is going to be extremely tough opposition. It's going to be hot. It's going to be the first time a Tier 1 nation turns up to them. They're going to be pumped up. They're the type of games that we as Scotland should be saying, right, let's puff our chests out, let's go there and let's dominate these oppositions. And that's what I've said to them, and the boys agree with it. So I think we get through this first game this week, and then we get a chance to front up against a good opposition in Georgia away, and then I suppose the next kind of away game is a little bit like Japan, in a sense that there'll be a lot of their supporters there. The other nations, you wouldn't say it's a away game for both of them, so it's not that type of game.
Nothing more from broadcast, we'll move on. We're going to 10 p.m. tomorrow now, Matt.
So.